Hello everyone, today we are breaking down the episode 4 trailer for The Last of Us Season 2. But before that, remember to like the video, helps out the channel a lot, and subscribe, and yada yada yada, let's get to it. The first thing we see is Isaac. He is the leader of the Washington Liberation Front, also known as Wolf. This is the group Abby and her associates are from. But this is a flashback. We are seeing him wearing a Federa uniform, and his beard is much darker, whereas later in the trailer we see it much grayer. We know that the WLF, which Isaac is in charge of now, helped take down the Federa Regiment in Seattle. They were basically the government in this world after the outbreak. So he could be talking to the original leaders of the WLF, and they are trying to recruit him to their cause. So we will be getting some backstory on Isaac next episode. In the next scene, we see WLF soldiers looking for Ellie and Dina in an old subway station. We also see Dina counting how many infected she hears. So not only will Dina and Ellie have to deal with the WLF here, they will be dealing with infected down here as well. In the next shot, we see Ellie and Dina looking over a dead body filled with arrows. This man was part of the WLF. The question is, who did this? If you recall from last episode, we saw that religious cult group near Seattle. They are known as Seraphites, also known as Scars. Basically, they follow the teachings of this prophet, which they mentioned in the last episode as well. That people need to live off the land and get away from technology, and the infection is because of the sins of humanity. Ellie and Dina last episode ran into what the WLF did to some of these Scars. Now we see what the Scars did to them. So Ellie and Dina are kind of getting into the middle of a war between these two factions as they look for Abby and her comrades. In the next scene, we see an older Isaac torturing one of the Seraphites, trying to get information on where the rest of them are, so they can take care of this problem and make Seattle safe for them. When you have two groups that occupy the same city in this uncivilized world they live in, it's really hard to coexist. You would always be fighting for territory and resources, but the Scars also don't believe in technology, so it adds a further divide between them. It is really interesting. I kind of just want an episode focused on the conflict. I think that would be really cool to see. In the next shot, we see Ellie serenading Dina with a song. The song is Take On Me, at least it was in the games. The actress who plays Ellie in the games has an amazing singing voice, so I'm very curious to see what Bella brings to the table here. In the next scene, we see Ellie take down a WLF soldier, and we see Dina and her running into a subway. So clearly they ran into a bunch of soldiers, probably took a few of them out, but then realized they needed to run or they would get captured. So they headed to the subway to hide, which is what we saw earlier. The only issue is that is where some infected are going to be as well. So now you have to deal with them as well as the WLF, which we see the soldiers start looking for Ellie and Dina, but make a little bit too much noise and an infected horde comes out of the tunnels. They start firing at the horde and Ellie and Dina use this time to escape. Though they get chased as well, the soldiers get overwhelmed pretty quickly. So Ellie and Dina have to fight some of the infected on the way out. In the last scene, we see Dina pointing her gun at Ellie. So Ellie must have been bitten while they were making their escape from the subway tunnels. And Dina thinks she has to kill her friend now. Ellie's going to explain to Dina that she is immune, so this is just there for drama, I guess. We do see Dina kind of pull up her gun like she's going to fire. I would assume that an infected was behind Ellie and she's just shooting at that, not Ellie. And that is it for the trailer. What do you think? Leave it down in the comments below. And if you want more Last of Us content, please subscribe and like the video. Check out the Twitter link in the description below. And as always, have an awesome day.